We saw Iran actually have ballistic missile tests on October 10th and November 21st, post-JCPOA, and even pre-receiving the sanctions cash relief that they recently received of billions of dollars. We also know that recently North Korea had a space launch continuing to develop their ICBM program. And I wanted to ask you, first of all, we know that in your statement you've mentioned, and historically, that there has been cooperation between North Korea and Iran on their ballistic missile program. Can you tell us what that cooperation has been? And can we expect that North Korea will sell or share technology with Tehran that could expedite Iran's development of ICBM missiles?
Of late, I have to be mindful of the setting here. There has not been a great deal of interchange between Iraq and Iran, or between North Korea and Iran, on the subject of nuclear or missile capabilities, but there has been in the past. We have been reasonably successful in detecting this, so hopefully we'll, with appropriate vigilance, we'll be able to sustain that.
Let me ask
North Koreans, though, they're interested in cash, and this is one of their
and we now know Iran has more cash, correct?
Well, they do now, but as General Stewart indicated, a lot of the cash, at least in the initial tranche, is encumbered. The Iranians have a lot of obligations to fulfill economically with a debtor nation.
On the two. What do you make of the fact that the Iranians did, in fact, post JCPOA, in violation of existing UN resolutions, make 2 launches of ballistic missiles, and I think you were asked about the sanctions that were put in place. Let's just be clear, those sanctions weren't very tough. Do you think that those are going to deter Iran from continuing to develop its ICBM program?
Well, the Iranians have conducted some 140 launches since the original UN Security Council resolution 1929 that was imposed in 2010. And so 70 of those, about half of them, were done during the negotiations, given the fact that the missiles weren't a part of the negotiations. So as far as these 2 launches are concerned, I think this was a deliberate message of defiance, and that the Iranians are going to continue with aggressive programs to develop their missile force.
And as you and I have talked about in the past, just to be clear, we judge that Tehran would choose ballistic missiles as its preferred method of delivering nuclear weapons if it builds them. That is obviously why you would build a ballistic missile if you choose to build a nuclear weapon.
Well, they have hundreds of them that threaten the Mideast, and of course the 2 under development could potentially, given the technology, although the immediate one that's most, I guess, the most proximate that would be launched, the GAM, is built by civilians and is ostensibly for a space launch.